はい、それでは、前回の続きやっていこうと思いますよ。再開。前回事件を一つ解決したところで終わりました。さあ、続きをやっていきましょう。さあ、続ける。
This trip to the countryside will be good for you, Holmes.
Hmm.
As your friend and your doctor, I really do recommend that you give yourself a complete change of scene. Fresh air, brisk walks, bird watching, chopping wood.
Sounds intolerable. I mean, certainly it sounds delightful.
But you haven't yet told me who your friend is, the one we're going to visit.
He is a bee lover.
A bee lover? Do you mean that he keeps bees? That must be Mrs. Hudson, bringing the warm cloth that I requested.
There is someone to see you, Mr. Holmes.
I have no time. Send whoever it is away.
Yes, Holmes, I really think we ought to leave now.
Mycroft.
Sherlock.
Oh, Mr. Holmes? Perhaps you don't remember me. I'm Dr. Watson. We met at the Diogenes Club a few years ago. I documented our encounter in a short story I gave the title The Greek Interpreter.
He does remember you, Watson. My brother remembers everything, and that is why he is so valuable to the government.
We're about to depart for the train station. You know?
Sherlock, I need your help. There are people who presently threaten both our country and the Crown itself. You must help us with those methods of yours.
Need help. Those are not words I would readily associate with you, Mycroft.
I wrote you a letter, but you did not reply. And this is not about politics. It's about people. People similar to those whom you pretend to defend in your petty detective affairs.
Everything is about politics with you, Mycroft. I'm not interested. Have some of your agents, your spies, or worse, undertake this job of yours. You are defending your people, and they have little to do with the people I choose to help, I can assure you.
That is the point. You think exactly as they do.
Who are they?
The Merry Men. He is talking about the Merry Men, a band of idealistic terrorists.
Sherlock, do please think about it. They are planning something diabolical. Your country needs you.
You need me, Mycroft, and you are not the country. Although if your waistline expands very much further.
Mrs. Hudson, tea will not be necessary. Dr. Watson, the train conductor, Mr. Parker, is aware that you will be 7 minutes late. You are in the 4th car. The train will be waiting for you. Sherlock, enjoy your time in Staffordshire. And do, please, at least write to me on your return.
はい、ということで兄弟のお話ですね。お兄さんがなんか嫌味を言ってきましたね。シャーロックよって。
Holmes, please call a cab while I pack my suitcase. We shall be late for the train.
場所を呼びに来てくれ。場所間に合わん。はい、ワンコ。
Look after Mrs. Hudson for us, Toby.
頼んだよ。ハドソンさんのことは頼んだよ。ちょっと覗いてみようかな、あの望遠鏡。この間すごいものが見えたからな。また見えるんかい。また見えるんかい、それ。いや、外行って場所呼んでこようぜ。
Watson, I'll hold a cab for us. We leave in 5 minutes for the station.
5分でここを出るぞ。1週間後。えらい飛んだな。1週間後って続ける。
What a gloomy night. It was warmer inside the waiting hall.
Since the station master told us that the train is about to arrive, we should not have to wait very much longer.
Yes, at last.
Attention! The train is arriving at the station. Please stand well away from the platform edge.
I'll take your bags. Your blasted archive suitcase.
今々しい携帯書庫がパンパンだって。
But, Holmes, the headlight. It's faded away.
Something is wrong. I can't hear any sound from the incoming train.
Excuse me, sir. Can you explain what has happened?
I don't know. It's as if the train vanished into thin air.
Holmes, say...
Quick, fetch a lantern and let us take a look.
電車が消えた。
It's too dark.
どういうことだ？
Only fog and rails, nothing else.
There is no use in stumbling around here at night. We will come back tomorrow.
明日また戻ってこよう。次の日、非常に朝早く。めっちゃ朝早いよ。
Well, here we are again at Evesham Station. We have a full day ahead. Let us begin our investigation.
ね、列車消えたもんね。そうね。消えた列車の謎を解明する。列車が消えた線路を調べる。線路を調べてみよう。ワトソン君。
Trains can't just vanish without leaving a trace. It isn't possible. Is it, Holmes?
ワトソン君。列車が消えたところを調べてみよう。お？なんか。これは関係ないな。これは記録だからな。違う。なんでこれが勝手に開くんだ？これは外だろ。こっちはいけないのか。こっちなのか。こっちなのか。線路に何か異常なものはないか？異常なものはなさそうだな。
This is the place where we saw the train vanish last night.
Railway sleepers, nothing unusual. Railway sleepers, nothing unusual. A discarded item, possibly thrown from the train.
投げ捨てられたのだろう。投げ捨てられたの。
What should we do next, Holmes?
こっから先はまだいけるんだ。あ、いけねえの。いけねえのね。戻りましょう。こっちははい、ひかっこ。犯人はあたたたた。あたたたただ。もうめっちゃ噛んでるやん、それ。犯人はあたたたたたた。ケンシロウか犯人は。ケンシロウなら一瞬にして、まあ列車ぐらいはポンと破壊できそうな気もせんこともないよね。でんでん、さあ何を調べればいいんだ？
First of all, let us examine the area where the train disappeared.
最初に列車が消えた場所を調べてみよう。列車が消えた場所。列車が消えた場所、ここじゃねえぞ。中には入っても意味ねえな。よし。列車が消えた場所はこっちから入ってきたんだもんね。ポッポーっつって。めっちゃ犬吠えてるけど。 車が消えた。ここら辺でしょ。この辺で T を持ってってか。うん。列車消えたところここでしょ。うん。調べたよ。空のビ
A discarded item, possibly thrown from the train.
まだ調べて
There
ない。
are no tracks or footprints on the ground.
足跡も残ってない。うん。他には何にもなさそう。うん。ワトソン君。
What should we do next, Holmes?
ワトソン君。こっちには行けないよ。枕木は調べたでしょ。瓶も調べたでしょ。付近の地面も調べたでしょ。こっち行ったら外に戻されるからね。じゃあ戻ろう。いい。この状態でちょっと調べてみよう。何か発見できるか。何か発見できるかな。おっと、あれは馬車でしょ。なんか光ってる場所とかないよね。うん。おっと、これが開かれるっていうことは、ここはもう行き止まり。違うな、調べれないね。なんかケーブルとかがあるね。なんだろうね。人がいるけど話せるのかな。
First of all, let us examine the area where the
列車
train
消えた
disappeared.
場所を調べてみよう。あれだけで物足らないの。物足らない。操作が足りないだと。なんかコポコポ言うとる。コポコポ言うとるけど調べられんねこれ。電車が他に調べるところは。
Railway sleepers, nothing
変わった
unusual.
ところはない。あ、レールの上がまだある。
The rails have not been touched. There's nothing unusual here. There are no signs to indicate that the train ran off the track, nor are there any other traces. There is nothing whatsoever. There are no clues. But then, a negative result is also a result.
Oh, I see what you're getting at. No clues, and you're smiling.
Yes, Watson, I do smile on occasion. This mystery appears very promising. This investigation won't be simple. We shall require a map of the region.
Perhaps the station master could lend us one.
なるほど。地図、駅長が持ってるって。こっちに駅長室だったよね、確か。めっちゃコポコポ言うとね。お、Hey.
Good morning. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
Yes, I remember you. I'm Station Master Everett. You were here last night. So, you are Mr. Holmes, the great detective. Will you be investigating what happened?
それはね、
I shall indeed.
It is extraordinary that an entire train could disappear like that. And to think of all the poor people inside it, the passengers, the driver.
そら調べんとな。よっ。これは大丈夫かな。よし。お前はまず人物を調べる。はい。はい。目異常なし、耳異常なし、口も異常なし。よし。で、帽子も異常なし。お、白髪。白髪頭。はい。ケツ割れ顎関係なし。ネクタイ関係ない。お、バッチ。名誉記章。お偉いさんですな。で、このチェーンとかは問題ない。なんか袖汚れてるけど大丈夫？ポケットの中身は手。泥のシミ。そして指輪。人物像。
Could you please give us any details about the train?
Well, there was nothing so very special about it. At least not that I can recall. My memory's not what it used to be.
記憶力が悪くて
However,
昨日のこと
if you
だよ
need it, you can have the train composition report. It's inside my office.
I would be glad to have a detailed map of the local railway district.
But of course, please, take the one that's pinned inside the waiting hall.
See you later, my good man.
バイバイ。
The entire train has disappeared.
はい、3時です。
It's a disaster.
列車が消えてしまいました。そうですね。なんか倉庫。めっちゃ倉庫。なんかありそう。
This part is probably from a locomotive.
蒸気機関車の部品だろう。そうだね。これは
An old locomotive bell.
古い蒸気機関の部品。歯車。
This part is probably from a locomotive.
うん。
This place serves as a storage area for the station.
ここは倉庫だ。倉庫です。倉庫です。リリリリ駅長室ってどこだ？駅長室はどこだ？駅長室。おう、ワトソン君、そのとこにいたのかい。駅長室はここか。線路のマップ。こっから入るんだな。ジムの机。電報。
A new telegram.
I think we should meet this, Mr. Robinson.
ロビンソン氏とに会った方がいいな。ロビンソン氏はブリドリントン駅にいる。なるほど。うん。他には電報機。はい。他には列車編成。
Here is the train set.
うん。なるほど。人物、新しいのが いるね。こいつ。イーブシャム。で、界隈内で尋ねる。消えた列車は次で編成されていた。なるほど。うん。詳しく調べる。周辺地域が載った地図を見つける。捜査に役立つだろう。地図どこだ？駅長室にあるっつってたよな。地図。これ？これだよね？違うの？ 回話しかけてみよう。特別貨物。
According to the train composition report, there was a special wagon. What does that entail?
スペシャルワゴン。
That's a highly secure car, ordered by a private party. It is generally to carry something of value. Those wagons have iron walls, you know, without any windows. And they're fitted with a complex key
お
lock.
前がそれ使える。
That is important information. Do you know what was inside this particular wagon?
Certainly not. No, that's private. And it's not my responsibility to allot the wagons to whoever.
なるほど。
See you later, my good man.
何を運んでいたのかを突き止めよう。何を運んでいたんだろう。そういう何も出てない。何を運んでいたのかを突き止めよう。何かあるかな。ここになんか道みたいなのがあるけど関係なさそう。何を運んでいたんだろう。特にここは調べるものはない。ということはまた駅長室行くのか。調べるものはなんだ。どれだ。さあ何を調べればいいんだろう。特になさそう。倉庫でもう一回これやってみようかな。倉庫でもう一度これをやってみよう。チェック。なんか新しい発見は？なんか光ってるところとかない。何を運んでいたんだろう。ここではなんか光るものはない。
The whole train just disappeared. It's unbelievable.
どいてよ、ワトソン。ちょっと邪魔よ。お兄さん、ちょっと邪魔です。めっちゃ邪魔やん、このワトソン。あ、こいつらに話しかけれねえのか。どうするかな。こっちにも行けないでしょ。エリアちっちゃいな。コポコポ言うとんやけど調べることはできない。もう一度この現場を調べてみよう。
A discarded item. There are no tracks or footprints on the ground. The rails have not been touched. There's nothing unusual here. Railway sleepers, nothing unusual.
何を運んでいたのかを突き止める。難しいね。 ヒントがとりあえず出てない。さあどうする。これはここはもう終わりなのか。
The entire train has disappeared.
大惨事なのは分かってる。移動してみる。移動もできない。移動もまだできない。ここになんかヒントとかありそうな感じがするけどね。何を、あった。線路図。
This map will be useful.
これは役に立つだろう。うん。そこで消えた。うん。地図を見つけるの完了。多分。うん。線路図。他には特に何も。他にはなんか取れそうなものはないかい。
Was there anything exceptional about any of the passengers aboard the train?
What do you mean? Like officials? I wouldn't know. Oh, but now that you mention it, yes, there was something. There was a message from Bridlington Station saying that the train had been delayed because of an issue with the passengers. What kind of problem that they didn't say?
That is interesting.
何かの問題で列車が遅れている。ブリドリントン駅。
You mentioned a problem at Bridlington Station. I should like to visit this station. Could you mark it on the local map?
Of course. It's a suburban railway station. You might take a cab there.
See you later, my good man.
ありがとう。さあ、夜間列車に合わせた乗客に関する情報を収集する。お、ブリントン駅出てきたね。移動してみよう。推理。とりあえずこの3つしか今出てないね。で、この3つはどれもつながらない。単独したもの。さあ、現場に着いた。さあ、話が聞けるような人はここにはおらんか。中に
This is an absolute scandal. It's always the same with these rail companies. No respect for the customer.
お前は誰だ。なんか一郎っぽいな。一郎に似てないかなんか。一郎っぽくね。作業着。お、なんか紙切れ。安い剣。お、指輪。こっちの手は何があったのか。
Please calm down, sir. What is your concern?
Concern? What is my concern? I'll tell you what my concern is. Last night I were on the train as usual with my colleague, heading home. Then along came this ridiculous ticket inspector, who started arguing that our tickets were invalid. He made us get off the train, and he was extremely rude about it.
消えた列車の乗客は
Were you aboard the train that vanished last night?
Yes, I heard that it disappeared. But I don't care because we would have stopped before then anyway. Our tickets were valid and no doubt about it. And then, to top it all, the ticket inspector pushed everyone else out too, except for a bunch of rich. Well, because their type don't need a ticket.
金持ちだけは残ってた。
Can you recall anything more specific about this fortunate group?
Well, yes. They were all foreigners. Spanish-looking toffs with snake eyes.
スネークアイズ
Goodbye, sir.
なるほど。一郎っぽいやつだ。
It's a scandal! An absolute outrage!
The whole train just disappeared.
ロビンソンさん。ロビンソンさんなのか、お前は。
Good day to you, sir.
Good day. To whom am I speaking?
My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is...
Are you a representative of this damned railway company? Because I have a complaint.
We are not from the railway company. We are...
Well, in that case, Mr. Shamrock Flomes, please excuse me, but I'm not in the mood for idle chit-chat at the moment.
今喋る気がない。じゃあ、ちょっと観察させてもらおう。はい。オーストラリアの帽子。カウボーイなのかな。おー。ウエスタンっぽい。高価な衣類。腹は出てる。重みがある金の指輪。で、これは何のカバン？カバンには反応しない。靴。ワニ側。ロビンソンさん。
You must be Mr. Robinson, is that correct?
Yes?
I am leading the investigation of the disappearing train. It would help if you could answer my questions.
Ah, well, all right. I have nothing to hide.
はい。特別貨車。
I presume it was you who placed the order for the special wagon.
Yes. It was to transport my valuable prototype safely to London. My prototype is a revolutionary device. It is capable of producing electricity. I'm a businessman and an engineer. I had already found several potential customers for my invention. But I was very optimistic about the director's board who were traveling on the train last night.
君は代表取締役なんだね。
You mentioned a director's board. Which company do they own?
The Chilean Barcazas Company. I had made an appointment with them. Now they are lost, along with the train and my prototype.
What do you know about the Barcazas company?
It's a large South American company. They showed a great deal of interest in my prototype, and they seemed wealthy enough to do business with.
おう、試作品の価値は、
This revolutionary machine of yours, was it very valuable?
For God's sake, sir, it is priceless. It could change the world we live in, and yet I was selling it for almost nothing. I am a humanitarian, you see. I do not know if I will ever be able to get over this disaster. I cannot believe that it disappeared with that damn train.
なるほど。列車に乗っていたの？
Mr. Robinson, could you please clarify? Were you traveling alongside your prototype?
Yes, I was. But I had to step off the train. And all because of this stupid station master.
I received a telegram declaring that an important person, a Mr. Bromsby, wished to see you in the waiting room. I merely informed you of this.
Mr. Bromsby is a wealthy gentleman. His interest in my invention was truly unexpected. So yes, of course, I agreed to see him. Unfortunately, he wasn't there. I thought perhaps he might have been delayed, so I chose to wait a while. But despite my requests, the train left the station without me. Absolutely unacceptable.
The timetable is strict. We cannot wait any longer. The regulations require the train to be on time.
You are an idiot. You will pay for it. I will sue you.
お前は大バカ者だ。
The ticket inspector forced all the passengers from the train except for the directors of the Barcazes Chilean company.
無理やり、なるほど。無理やりを。これには繋がらない。お、繋がったぞ。一つの仮説。事故。チリ人が列車に取り残されたのはただ偶然だった。車掌が彼らを見落としただけだった。チリ人は残された。チリのバルカザス社の取締役で列車の中に残された検疫係でチリ以外の乗客全員列車から降ろした。事故なのかな。とりあえずこれはこれに繋がらないね。事故なのか、それとも今はそれはまだわからないと。なるほど。ここはなんだ、これはなんだ、ここはなんだ。何か光るものはないかい。ああ、いつもあれか。なるほど。線路上になのか残ってませんか。ここで行き止まり。ここには何もない。この倉庫は
The whole train just disappeared. It's unbelievable.
アンビリーバボーがいいんだよ、あんた。ストーブ。この中に特に怪しいところはございません。ワトソン邪魔です。ワトソン邪魔です。ここはさっき話してたでしょ。ここは何？お、なんか資料があるぞ。
Railway post bags.
郵便。そうか。ここ郵便か。特に
Railway post bags.
鉄道郵便袋。特にないね。
It's a scandal! An absolute outrage!
I will not move from here until I receive my refund.
ここにも入れる。おめえから話を聞きたいぞ。
Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you?
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I am investigating the unfortunate disappearance of last night's train.
I see. I'm Station Master Bertram, but my supervisor has not informed me about this. I do not know if...
Do not worry. I have only a few questions. Station Master Everett from Evesham told us that you reported a problem with some passengers last night.
Indeed. This train is a regular line for those who work at Nottingham. But yesterday, everyone was asked to get off the train here at my station. I've no idea why, and it delayed the train. But the worst of it is that now I have to deal with two furious passengers who are complaining about the company's service. They stayed here the whole night, but people do not usually pay much attention to the regulations, you see. there are very strict and clear rules. Paragraph 234 of Article 2G-43 states that in the event of a complaint, you must...
Yes, thank you. I understand.
なるほど。お前は若年、若い、清潔な衣類、指導書、新人じゃないか、じゃあ。
Apart from the passengers disembarking, did you notice anything else that was unusual last night?
I did. And I mentioned it in my report to our higher management on the matter.
What was it?
Sorry, but I can't tell you. The station master's reports are confidential.
Confidential, you say? How long have you been working here?
I've worked here long enough to be quite capable of managing a railway station.
なるほど。電車は遅れた。違うらしい。正しい答えを選びます。
Apart from the passengers disembarking, did you notice anything else that was unusual last night?
I did. And I mentioned it in my report to our higher management on the matter.
What was it?
Sorry, but I can't tell you. The station master's reports are confidential.
Confidential, you say? How long have you been working here?
I've worked here long enough to be quite capable of managing a railway station.
新人の駅長。
Let me speak frankly, Mr. Bertram. Your age and your lack of confidence in your position are quite apparent. You cannot deny that you have only recently completed your studies.
I was at the top of my class.
Listen here, young man. I am aware that you wish to protect yourself behind all these regulations, but I represent the law.
And you are obstructing the investigation of an important case. I would suggest that you cooperate with Mr. Holmes. Think of your career.
Ah, that is... Well, I'll tell you everything. First of all, I scolded the ticket inspector, for it was he who asked the passengers to leave the train. It was not his right to do so. He was very rude. And then, later on, I received a most peculiar telegram from my colleague at Chesterfield Station, the next stop along the line.
おかしな電報を受け取った。奇妙な電報。
What did the telegram say?
Well, that was the peculiar thing. It was almost unreadable.
読むことが
It
で
was
きな
full
か
of
った。
errors and awfully vague. It was hard to understand if the train had correctly passed that station or not. You can read it for yourself.
We ought to visit Chesterfield Station. We need to confirm if the station master saw the train or not.
チェターフィールドテスト壁列車番号324うちゃけ0030足0035。他には
Don't touch anything, please.
何も触れないでください。探すよ、もちろん。
A telegraph.
Don't touch anything, please.
なんかある？他に。何もなさけ。ここはチターフィールドで、お、間に駅があるじゃないか。なんかあるかい？手がかり。繋がらない。繋がらない。では新しい駅。
Locked.
閉まっている。閉まってんのかよ。
fishing advertisement.
釣りの広告。
This bin is full of empty bottles.
空瓶がたくさん入っている。あそこに落ちてたあの瓶か。そして。寝とるやん。寝てますよ。
How could he fall asleep at work like this? Excuse me, sir. Wake up. Ah, his breath. He must have swallowed half a distillery.
And that explains the how.
By his sleeping off the alcohol, you mean? Wake up, please,
Huh?
sir.
What? The 18-hour 72 train has arrived?
Good day to you. We are investigating the disappearance of last night's train, and we should like to ask you a few
酔っ
questions.
払いお相手です。はい、ツェポンさん、こんばんは。久しぶりに来ました。いらっしゃい。めっちゃ鼻赤いやん。
Were there any
酔っ払ってます
passengers
や
who
ん
got off that particular train at your station last night?
No, nobody, it seems to me. Although I did not leave my office, so...
No doubt you were very busy.
You don't say. You can't ever get any peace around here. Now you have to send a telegram each time a train arrives and departs.
酔っ払いの相手したくねえ。まあ、とりあえず人物像を見るか。はい、まずお前、もう鼻が赤い。酔っ払ってる赤い鼻。はい。酔っ払ってますね。清潔な衣類。お前、あれ。お前は既婚者か。なんだ携帯用の酒瓶。めっちゃ酒飲んでるやん。釣り糸。おかしな伝言。
Station Master Bertram from Bridlington showed me a strange telegram that he received from you last night. It concerned the train, but it was barely comprehensible.
What? He's a fastidious little twerp, that Bertram. I remember everything quite clearly. It was late, and I was tired, but I did my work. So what? There's no need to be so petty.
なんだってバートラムはただ口されバカだ。俺ははっきり覚えてる。もう遅くて疲れてるんだ。ちゃんと仕事した。だからなんだこんなちっぽけなことを。
You were not tired, you were inebriated. Tell me the truth now, or I shall not hesitate to document your state in my report.
My friend means that you will end up by being sacked from your position.
All right. So I was drunk. I don't remember all of yesterday, to be truthful to you. Please don't go harsh on me.
Holmes, this man has consumed a considerable amount of alcohol. He's not entirely helpless yet, but...
It will not be long before he is. Obviously, his testimony cannot be trusted.
時間の問題だね、確かに。さあ。これは繋がらない。これも繋がらない。こっちは繋がる。はい、新しい手がかり。チェスターフィールド駅を通過した。駅長が本当に報告を送ったのか定かではないが、列車はチェスターフィールド駅を通過した。列車はチェスターフィールド駅を通過しなかった。駅長は先に酔っていたので彼の証言は確かではない。列車を確認しずに報告を送ったかもしれない。それはこうだね。とするとこれがこっちの時はつながるわけではない。まあ、一応自分にしとこう。2つ目のヒントが出てきました。はい、こいつは酔っ払ってると。
Holmes, how is it even possible for a train to disappear?
Ah, will I ever get any peace?
いつになったら落ち着けるんだって言われてもね、なんかあるかいここ。特に何もなさげ。確かこいつは通理してたもんね。こっちは
Locked. There is no sense in asking the station master to open it. We shall have to pick the lock.
はい、そういうこと。パズルが始まりました。回転させる。これね、多分線をつなげれば OK だよね、確か。こうで。つながってないね。入れ替える。こうで、こうで、ここがつながってない。なるほど。こうなって、あれ、ここはつながらないかも。ということは、もともと違う。ここにある線はここ1個。で、これに合わせるように線をつなげる。OK。ダミーの線があったかな。Open the door。さあ、T で調べてみよう。何か床。引っかき傷。
Bags were recently dragged here. French wine, a remarkable vintage. These bottles are too expensive for a station master's wage. They were likely taken from the parcels.
Shameful.
盗んだのか。わーい。
Railway post bags. These tools were used quite recently. They are still muddy. We should ask about them.
泥がついとるということは、なんか埋めたということか。どっかに埋めてんのか、埋めて隠してるのか。おい、駅長よ。おい、駅長、てめえこの野郎。盗っ人なのか、おめえは。
You have quite a number of dirty tools lying around here.
Ah, yes. Well, thank you for reminding me. I should clean them. Although, might be easier to put them outside. Seems it might start raining soon.
I meant, what were they used for?
Some workers come here and borrowed them from me. They wanted to lift the edge of the railway to one of the stations on the line, so that the water wouldn't come in too close.
Who were these workers?
Well, they didn't seem to be from the company, but they was fine lads. They invited me to share a drink. And whatever it was, it had a click to it. They wasn't English. No, I don't believe so. But see, they knew just what a man needed to brighten up his dull evening. Ah, will I ever get any...
The whole train just disappeared.
A telegraph.
I had thought that all station masters knew the Morse code, but apparently not. Holmes, how is it even possible for a train to disappear?
さあ、ヒントはいっぱい出てきたの。チェスターフィールド駅は念入りに調べた方がいい。なるほど。 汚れた道具汚れた道具をもう一回調べる。ってことでもないか。別にそういうわけでもない。新しいところ。
A handcar wheelbase. Interesting. It appears that elements of the same construction were scattered everywhere. Watson, please tell me, do you believe in magic?
Of course not, Holmes.
Then you are of the opinion that a train cannot simply disappear.
Well, we both know that that is obvious. Why are you asking such peculiar questions?
A little patience, Watson. You will understand my point quite soon. So, are you quite certain that you saw the train at Evesham Station?
Yes, of course. We saw it coming. The headlights, and heard the whistle.
But that is it. We didn't see the train itself.
But... Oh, Holmes, I'm a little confused.
さあ、チェスターフィールド駅を調査するを完了しました。はい。で、ヒントがここで1個追加される。はい。ここがつながって、はい。課題、偽列車の実験。解体された手漕ぎ機動車がこの事件の謎を関係しているようだ。手漕ぎ機動車を復元して消えた列車が再現できるかどうかやってみよう。なるほど。な。うん。はい。
I should use the appropriate object here. I should use the appropriate object here.
オブジェクト。操作本の接合箇所。木の土台。
I should use the
なるほど。そういう感じで。まず車輪。
I should use the
車輪はどうでもよくて。歯車。
I should use the I should use
歯車はどうでもいい。ソーダ棒がここに。車輪が
I should use
どこだこれ。で、車輪。
I should use
土台。
I should use
回転させる。ああ。はい。で、残った部品はどこだ？まだ車輪がある。で、ブレーキの接合箇所。なんか部品がある？ブレーキ。で、残りは木の土台。土台はどっかにあった？あった。木の土台。完成。
So, now here we have the fake train that we saw approaching Evesham Station last night.
Doesn't look much like a train to me.
Be patient, Watson. I haven't finished yet. Try using your imagination. Our train requires only a headlight and a steam whistle.
なるほど。あるものが必要。と想像しておっと押さえたぞ。
We need to attach a headlight and a steam whistle. We need to attach a headlight and a
電
steam
車を
whistle.
襲うとき敵をつける必要がある。ある電車を襲う奇跡。この2つがいるね。はい。はい。
The long pole is now attached. It will allow us to connect the headlight. The headlight is attached. The steam whistle is now connected.
Holmes, what can we do to make the steam whistle work?
It is elementary, my dear Watson. We shall need a fire extinguisher.
消火器。
The fire extinguisher. Now let us see what we have here.
また来ます。落ちます。はい、お疲れでした。まあこれ遊んでみてください。
The steam whistle is ready to be used.
汽笛の準備が。できましたよ。ポポー、シャコシャコシャコ。
Watson, I do believe that we have created an exact replica of the train that vanished in front of us last night. The criminal mind can be most inventive. I am somewhat in awe.
So such a thing is possible. If someone went to all the trouble of creating this fake train, then it was surely with the intention of stealing the real one.
Ah, Watson, you should not jump to conclusions. In fact, this does not tell us very much at all, except that the train did not evaporate into thin
なる
air.
ほど。
Although you half suspected it.
Huh. At any rate, we now need to find where the real
さあ
train
どこ
might be
に
hidden.
列車が隠されたのか。
I suggest we use my archives to find a more detailed map of our surroundings.
Well, I hope that justifies our having to load your massive archive suitcase onto the cab. It made us extremely unpopular with our driver.
さあ、とかいろいろ出てきたよ。これは合わない。こことここが合うと、もっと前に消えていた。列車はイーブシャム駅に到着していなかった。実はもっと前に消えていた。誰かがチェスターフィールド駅で手漕ぎ自動車と予備部品を使い列車に生まれたものだったと。はい。ということは、こっちでもなければ、 繋がるわけでもない。はい、まだこの3つが繋がらない。そのためには書庫で検索する。はい、じゃあ一旦お家に帰るかな。書庫で検索する。書庫、こっちじゃないよね、書庫。ここも書庫じゃない。
Ah, will I ever get it?
I had thought that
書庫はお家の書庫でしょ。ちょっとどいて、お兄さん、邪魔なんです。ワトソンさん、邪魔なんです。書庫ここだ。ここは書庫でも何でもないか。待合室なのか。ヒントになるようなことないのか。さあどこに行けばそうだい。消えた列車の謎を解明する。特別列車が運んでいたものを突き止める。書庫。
The entire train has disappeared.
Railway post bags.
あれ？移動書庫みたいな持ってきたっつってたよな。移動書庫みたいな持ってきたっつってたよな。おめえ移動書庫を持ってきてたっつったじゃん。どこ行ったの？
This
これ違うでしょ。移動書庫を持ってきてたっつったじゃん。どこ？こっちにはないよね。違う。移動書庫はどこに持ってきたの？どこに持ってきた？書庫持ってきたっつったじゃん。 これか。あれこれじゃねえの。おい、兄ちゃんよ。ショコ持ってきたっつったじゃん。
It's a scandal. An absolute outrage.
I will not move from here until I receive my refund.
Don't touch anything, please.
はい、触れませんけども。
It's a scam.
書庫で調べるって書いてあったやん。指導書庫はどこだよ。なんか書庫的なもの持ってきたんでしょ。お家帰れないんだから。どうすんだ。バッグとかある。移動書庫。書庫で調べるんでしょ、地図。
I had thought that all
特に調べることないぞ。もう B 以外ないよね。特にここにももうないよね。ポッポーってやってもいいんだよね。記念品。なんだ、詰まったぞ。おっと、詰まったぞ、ワトソン君。
Holmes, how is it even possible for a train to disappear?
ワトソン君、詰まったぞ。どうすればいいんだ、ワトソン君。お前に話しても何もない。
Holmes, how is it even possible for a train to disappear?
ワトソン、邪魔です。どいて。 全部見た。特別列車。これに結ぶヒントを探さんといかんのですけど。もう何も出てこんよね。どこ行けばいいんだ？
Railways are discarded. There are no The rails have not been touched. There's nothing unusual here.
The entire train has disappeared. It's a disaster.
どうすればいいんだ？詰まったぞ。詰まったんですけど。めっちゃ詰まったやん。
A tele.
めっちゃ詰まったね。どうしよう。どうしましょう。この3カ所しか行くとこないんだよな。
I will not move from here until I
Don't touch anything, please.
A
1枚の紙。なんかヒントがあった。
The insurance policy for Robinson's machine. A significant sum.
保険証。
Don't touch anything, please.
According to this document, you have insurance for your prototype.
Oh, thank God. Where did you find it?
Near the telegraph station.
I must have lost it when I tried to send a message, which I was prevented from doing.
I apologise for that, but regulations state that public access to the telegraph is strictly prohibited.
Upon my word, you keep on digging that hole of yours. You have no idea who I am.
大切な旅行カバン。
I see that you kept your gripsack with you. Why don't you leave it in the luggage room?
I've had other things to think about. I lost my prototype. And this idiot station master just stands here doing nothing to help.
Oh, but
Well, that won't do at all. Station master, I believe that the regulations state that any passenger luggage should be taken to the luggage room.
I'll do it right away, sir. Sorry, sir.
This Robinson is quite a character. We should learn more about him.
I はい、戻りました。
I will not move from here until I receive my refund.
はい、とブリドリントン駅の荷物預かり所に保管されているロビンソンの旅行カバンを調べる。ブリドリン駅、ブリドリン駅、ここどこ？
Rail.
これか。うわお。
This gripsack belongs to Mr. Robinson.
I think we should open it, Holmes. This is what they call force majeure. I'll keep watch.
Of course.
パズルですか。うわい。うわ、40になってるんだね。なるほど、線が裏側になるんだね。これはこうだね。で、これが線がねえぜ。こっち側の線がねえぜ。どういうことや。こういうことか。で、こうだ。事務用紙。
Look, Watson, a bundle of contracts. Very suspicious. We should study them carefully.
独占販売
An
契約
exclusive sales contract. Mr. Robinson is the seller.
うん、10% 前払いする必要があります。ページをめくる。
Yet another exclusive sales contract. Mr. Robinson is the seller.
ロビンソン。
Yet another Mr. Robinson is the seller. Yet another Mr. Robinson is the seller. Well, it is very clear that this Mr. Robinson received prepayments from various people for his machine.
なるほど。ということは彼が作成した保険と複数の不正な独占契約のおかげで作品の紛失がロビンソン氏に多額の金額をもたらすことになる。なるほど。とりあえずヒントが今4つ出たけどまだつながりがつながらない。
I will not move from here until I receive my refund.
It's a scandal. An absolute outrage.
Don't touch.
消えた列車の謎を解明する。書庫で検索する。書庫で検索。書庫。書庫ってどこ？書庫。なんかしょうもねえこと言ってもった。書庫ってどこ？書庫ってどこ？書庫が見つかりません。ロビンソンの動機、彼が、作成した保険と複数の不正な独占契約のおかげでロビンソンを高くもたらすことになる。機械損失はロビンソン氏に災害をもたらす不正行為を実行すると計画はしたが、得る利益より損失額の方が多かった。保険は施策の総経費を保証しない。こっちにするとつながらない。こっちだとつながりそうな感じはするけどつながらない。つながらないねえ、つながらないね。つながりそうでつながらないね。チョコってどこですか？教えてほしい。ここのチョコはどこ？調べた後なんだよね、ここ全部。特にない実験もした。モールス信号も見た。 ところが
Oh,
ない
will I ever get any peace?
こいつは嘆いている。
A fishing advertisement.
O 家に帰ったら書庫があるんだけど、そこで調べるわけでもないっぽいんだよね。
A fake train.
どこ行けばいいんだ？さあ、詰まったぞ。どこに行けばいいんだ？さあ、どこに行けばいいんだ？ここは特に何もなさげ。
A telegraph.
電報があって、
The entire train has disappeared.
Railway.
ここにも特に何もなさげ。さあ、どうすればいいんだろう。走んじゃねえ。
I'm always wondering what's on your mind, Holmes. A fake train. Ha! What a clever and devilish trick. I'm always wondering what's on your mind, Holmes.
特に何もないな。何もないんだよね、この辺。書庫とかがあるわけではない。ここは倉庫。倉庫にも別になんかあるわけではない。どうしたらいいんだ？どこ行けばいいんだ？ここには何もない。
I will not move from here.
何か見落としてるもんがあんのかな。ないね。ここは入れないでしょ。ここも特に何かあるわけでもない。どうすればいいんでしょう。めっちゃ戻された今。特にないね。たらもう残りはここしかないんだよな。
This bin is full of empty bottles.
カラビンがいっぱいあって釣りの餌を釣りの効果があって
A telegraph.
テレグラフがあって
Ah, will I ever get any peace?
ショコっていうものはないな。あっちが倉庫でここも別に何もない。どうする？何？どうなってんの？どうなってんのこれ。詰まったよ。詰まったよね。詰まったんですけど。詰まったんですけど、どうしたらいいんですか？どうしたらいいんですかこれ。どうしたらいいのこれ。詰まり申した。おつまり申したよ。行くとこ他にないもの。ショコで検索する地方。ショコがどこにあんだよ。おい、ショコがどこにあんだよ。頼むからショコの場所を教えてくれ。ショコはどこにあんだ？ショコはどこにあるんだ？教えてくれ。 書庫で調べるって出てるけど、書庫はどこにあるんだよ。おい、書庫の場所を教えてくれ。書庫はどこなんだ。書庫はどこにあるんだ。詰まったぞ。書庫がどこにあんだ。書庫ねえ、書庫教えて。書庫どこにあんの。書庫が全然見つかんないんですよ。書庫はどこにあるの。マジで書庫どこにあるの。
The entire train is...
わかんねえ。詰まった。完全に詰まったぞ。書庫ってどこ。
This part is probably from a local... An old locomotive. This part is probably...
うわ、こんなとこにある。うっそ、こんなとこ行けんのかよ。嘘でしょ。
There was a building here not so long ago.
But I don't understand, Holmes. Why would anyone destroy the shed in such a manner?
It was disassembled in great haste. It is most odd. Traces. Let's take a closer look. Nothing interesting here. 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 Nothing interesting here.
何を使おうとしてんだこれ。車輪
Nothing interesting here. Nothing interesting here. Nothing interesting here. Nothing interesting. Nothing interesting here. Nothing interesting here.
ここでもない。
Nothing. Nothing.
ここじゃないの
Nothing.
これで
Nothing.
もないの
Nothing.
これでもない。
Nothing. Nothing.
ここでもない。
Nothing interesting here.
なあ
Nothing interesting. Nothing.
あ、こういうことね。
Nothing interesting here.
あ、メジャーで測れ。
Nothing interesting. Nothing interesting here. The distance between the tracks is about 6 feet 7 inches.
そういうことね。
The vehicle would have been heavy, as these tracks are quite deep. These traces are relatively fresh and were made by a large truck loaded with materials.
ほう。会話内でだ。イーブジャム近くに解体された倉庫ある。そこは、間隔が2メートルほどの大型のトラック、深めの車輪の跡があった。おそらく資材を運搬していたのであろう。
This road should lead to the town of Evesham.
街に出る。なるほど。なんか変わったところはねえか？
But I don't understand.
It appears that there was a small warehouse near your station and that it was disassembled. Why is that?
It was burgled overnight about 2 weeks ago. The police have already started their investigation, but I doubt that they'll find anything.
What was inside the warehouse?
Nothing of value. A few hundred feet of standby rails and some spare railway parts. But it wouldn't be easy to steal all of that. Why would anyone want to?
See you later, my good man.
黄泉のものが盗まれている。で、書庫で検索する。書庫がねえんだわ。書庫がねえんだわよ。ここが壊されたやつで。なんかここら辺にあるのかな。ここ町に行く。トゥーロンドンって書いてあるね。また上から調べてみるか。ここは何もない。なんか壊れたものがあるけど調べられない。 怖い行き止まり。特に何もない。
It's a scandal.
I will not move.
特にここを見渡しても何もない。はい。で、
Don't touch anything, please.
ここに書類が落ちてただけ。でもう何も他はないね。書庫ってどうなのかな、書庫って。何もないんだよね。ここにも何もない。ということはもうここには用はない。特にここも入れるわけではない。おめえなんか知ってんだろう。知ってんじゃねえのかおい。書庫って何？どこ？書庫がわかんねえんだけど。書庫がわかんねえと話進まねえんだけど、ちょっとよ。あ、ここか。これか。後ろか。
Now
マ
we
ンショ
have
ンの
two
後ろか。
maps. We must combine them properly.
引きずる。これと同じ形の線路を探せ。どこだ？ここ、あ、これだ。これで。
Here it is. There is a side branch to the railway. Its first switch is located between Bridlington and Chesterfield stations. There is one more station to be visited. It is located between Chesterfield and Evesham, and there should be a side railway to the nearby quarry. There is a small section of a railway at the end of Evesham station.
やっと見つかったよ、書庫。もう長かったな、書庫。消えた列車などを解明する。鉄道の分岐点から先の視線を調査する。チェスターフィールド、イーグジャム間を走る石切り場に向かう視線を調べる。おー、行くとこ増えたじゃない。行くとこ増えたじゃない。 さあ、新たな、なんか、引きずったような後の、これ馬車か。
The switch is rusted, but it still works. Mines. This is interesting.
これは興味深い。まあ。
It would be quite possible for someone to redirect the train towards the mines.
そうだね。鉱山を通してこの場所を列車がつくことが可能か確認する。鉱山こっちだね。そのまま行くのね。なるほど。
Here are the mines, Holmes. They appear to be abandoned.
鉱山は廃墟ですよ。
The distance between the tracks is about 4 feet 8 inches. A lightly loaded vehicle came this way.
なるほど。
There is a wooden beam lying on the rails. A small vehicle with wooden beams went down this way.
なるほど。角材を運んだのか。
This mine has completely collapsed, Holmes.
It is curious, but to be truthful, I am not entirely surprised.
It's difficult to follow you, Holmes.
崩落した鉱山、積み上げた石、紙包み。紙包み。紙の箱。
This is an unusual kind of paper, stiff and dry. It was used for a specific purpose. Let us look inside. Sawdust. I am almost certain it is a... Watson, could you assist, please? Do you have your pistol? Good.
なるほど。
Fire at this package.
爆弾ですか。狙って。
Dynamite.
Oh, dynamite. さあ、新たなヒント。鉱山は列車の隠さみを、崩壊させた。列車が鉱山の中に移動された後、ダイナマイトが利用された。鉱山はダイナマイトで崩落してしまった。誰かが故意にこの場所を封鎖させたかった。隠蔽なのかな。隠蔽じゃねえのかな。隠蔽じゃなかったら妨害行為。妨害行為でもつながらないぞ。どっちだろう。隠蔽だろうな、多分。でもつながらない。空き地、地面に残された後。
Someone removed these screws, most probably to take down the rails. A few feet of the rails have been dismantled.
鉱材の線路、誰かが机上の鉱材の線路噴出部を一時的に修理した。そうすると ぞ。列車は封鎖された鉱山の奥にある。はい。多分そうだろうね。多分この奥だろうね。こっちにはお、なんか箱があるぞ。
This box must be the safe.
はい。
Let's open it.
パズルですか。はい。くるくるパズルです。違うな。こっちはどうなの。こっちかな。そうだな。
The Mexican company Caracao and the Chilean Barcazas both want to buy the mines. I need more information. Perhaps Mycroft could help.
マイクロソフトに来た。うん。もっと調べる。終了。ねえ、電報を利用しては石炭についてより詳しく調べる。石切り場に向かう視線を調べる。こっちには特に何もなかったもんね。特に何もなさそう。公開したものの中も何にもなさそうね。こっちも何もない。うん。ここも調べてみよう。さあ、駅がもう一個あるよっていう話だったね。ここは何駅だい？
A funny character. He looks anxious.
And he... This scent is... A greenish-brown cigar with a strong aroma, a hint of peppermint. Ricardo.
You already know the name of this man? Holmes, you amaze me.
No, Watson, I refer to the cigar. It is a Ricardo Turrent, a Mexican cigar of an excellent quality. Quite an expensive one, too.
高額のタバコ。高いタバコ。
This ashtray is full of ash and cigar stubs. Apparently, there was a conflict between the Mexicans and the Chileans. A greenish-brown cigar with a strong aroma, a hint of peppermint. These ashes and cigar stubs are similar to the one that we found on the floor. Some of the stubs were recently smoked. There are others that appear fairly old.
That means that the fellow spent several days here. Judging by his clothes, he's hardly a traveler or a tramp.
Well concluded, my dear fellow. A man who smoked the Ricardo brand of Mexican cigar spent several long days at Doncaster Station.
数日過ごしている。
This ashtray is full of ash and cigar stubs.
なるほど。この男は少なくとも数日間この場所に滞在しているようだ。なるほど。
Holmes, look. There's a flooded area over here.
I believe that the flooded area might be worth checking.
なるほど。
Newspaper articles on horse racing. Hurdle, steeplechase, and flat racing. He is a true enthusiast, Holmes.
Betting slips for horse racing. Betting. The sums are quite impressive.
It can be an expensive vice. This man had probably used all his savings.
I asked Mycroft to find out some information on the WEA Coal Company. Here is his reply, and it is an interesting one.
早っ、返信早っ。2社の会社、チリのバルカザスと、そしてメキシコ会社カラカル、両社ともに WEA 石炭鉱山の買収を希望した。メキシコ財団のカラカルは当初の取引を行い、すべての必要な書類を揃えていた。しかし、チリのバルカザスグループは有力な、縁故関係を利用して鉱山買収の締結を奪うことに成功した。
A telegraph.
なるほど。特に何もないと。こっちはなんじゃい、倉庫。話を聞こうじゃないか。
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. John Watson. We are investigating the case of the vanished train.
Is that so? Well, good day, gentlemen. I'm Mr. Duff. the station master of this station. I'll be happy to help you in any way I can, but there's not much that I can tell you about last night.
お前もグルっぽいな。憂鬱。ボタンが1個取れている。そうだね。指輪の跡。
It appears that you may be at risk of some flooding along the line here.
You mean that the whole bloody lake is at our feet?
Quite so. But it is strange, because according to my map, there should be a quarry here, and behind that, the lake.
How should I know? I only arrived here a few months ago.
And where did you work before that?
I was working in Nottingham, but I asked for a quieter place, so they transferred me here. Life is cheaper. I can't really complain.
Oh.
Did any passengers leave or board the train last night?
No. I saw no one as usual. I reported the train's passage by telegraph, just the same as all the other nights.
I observe that you are a gambling man, Mr. Duff. You had hoped that your relocation to this small town might have helped ease your addiction, but it was not to be.
I beg your pardon? Addiction to what?
We found a number of horse racing tickets inside your office. Well, well, we all have our weaknesses. An expensive obsession, surely, for a station master.
It is none of your business. I occasionally attend the races with my colleagues. And anyway, that's my private life.
There was a gentleman of Mexican origin, I believe, in the waiting room. Did you notice him?
What? A Mexican? Here in the back of beyond? Are you quite sure about that?
Goodbye, sir. It is obvious that we cannot inspect the quarry. Instead, we can check the beach area around the flooded lake. Watson, it seems that both South American companies were involved in the purchase of the mine.
The man at Doncaster who fled our approach, he smokes Mexican cigars. Perhaps...
Yes, Watson. We should certainly speak with him.
Mexico 18時に何の恨みも抱いていない。結局金儲けのための商売なのだから。ロビンソン氏の試作品を盗むために列車を消した。なるほど。そういうことか。について特にここは何もない。ここは何もない。おお、飛ばされた。 べり。湖付近の岸辺を調べる。はい、ドンカス駅の待合室でタバコ吸っている男を見つける。めっちゃコポコポ言うとるやん。男はどこ行った？
This The rail is rusted and looks old, but the railway is still usable.
線路はまだ使える。でもここで線路は途切れてる。
The railway ends here. That is strange.
妙ですな。特に何もないね。
The switch is rusted, but it still works.
意識場に向かっている古い線路。列車はトンカス駅の浸水した意識場に沈んでしまったのかもしれない。列車は浸水した意識場に沈んだはずがない。なぜならその場所に向かう古い線路の一部が欠けているからだ。誰かが記念する鋼材の線の一部を一時的に修理した。こっちやないかい。こっちにしたらどうだ。ただ全部赤になるもんね。全部赤になるもんね。そうすると繋がらなくなるもんね。こうなると全部繋がらんようになるね。どうなんの？これで全部青にはなるけど、もう何も繋がらなくなる。隠蔽でしょ？沈んではいない。 こう岸辺をまだ調べてないね。
The rail is... The...
さあ戻ってみよう。あの男はどこ行ったんだろうね。
Please, sir, we would ask you not to leave. We have some questions.
Are you the police?
No, we are employed by the railway company. We are collecting witness statements about the train that disappeared last night.
Lo siento, I'm in a hurry.
Really? It seemed that you were waiting here for someone. Could you tell us if you were at the station last night?
No, I just arrived from South America.
A formidable journey, no doubt. Which country are you from?
De Chile.
C は洒落た服、頑丈な体格、武道の経験がある、タコがあるね。すごい。葉巻持ってるね。
Chile? But you are Mexican.
No, you are wrong. Why would you think I'm Mexican?
メキシコのタバコ。
Because of your cigars.
Sí, cigarrillos. So what?
Those cigars are the Ricardo brand, from Mexico. It is quite impossible to find them anywhere but there.
Pero not your business.
I don't suppose that you are on vacation. What business brought you here?
I was to meet my fellow compañeros, who were due to arrive yesterday. They were on that damn train. I will stay here and hope that the authorities find them, or their bodies. It's now my responsibility to repatriate them.
Who authorized you to do that?
The company I work for.
Could you tell me the name of the company?
It's not your concern.
And what is your name?
Enough questions. Buenas tardes.
Not a very friendly man, and he is lying. He said that he just arrived, but we know that he has been here for several days.
WES 世界鉱山を買収したこっちかな。ただ新たな仮説が出てきたよね。メキシコ人の罠。とするとこれが別のつながりになってくる。
All these trains and railway stations.
ドンガスサ駅で不審な情報や手がかりないか調べる。岸辺を調べる。
Here we are at the beach that is located near the quarry and Doncaster Station. It doesn't look like a very good place. These traces were made by carriage. The distance between the tracks is about 6 feet 7 inches.
2メートルですね。
The vehicle pressed this stone into the ground. It would have been quite heavy. The vehicle would have been heavy, as these tracks are quite deep. These traces are relatively fresh and were made by a large truck loaded with materials. The traces found at the disassembled shed near Evesham and at the lake were from the same vehicle. An abandoned gypsy caravan. This place was abandoned fairly recently.
なるほど。
Observing the coastline and the moored boats, we are able to see that the lake's water level dropped. The lake has flooded the quarry. The dam was probably breached.
ダムが決壊したのか。
A label with the name Las Zarpas. My search should be focused upon the name Las Zarpas.
ラフタファスないね。新聞じゃない百科事典、経済学。
My search should be
あった。ラスザルパスの端家は大量かつ重量ある荷物を運ぶことができる河川交通主役を務める。行商は運送、電気設備、また工業なども取り扱うメキシコ財団カラカル所有権にある。
Here it is.
はい。最近メキシコ人が湖に橋家を設置した。おそらく何か非常に重たいものを輸送したのだろう。 そうなるとドンカツ詐欺で不審な詳細手がかりは何か調べる。一回ドンカツ駅行ったのがドンカツだろ。
A telegraph. This post bag belongs to the station master.
ノッティンガムシャーベースボールアドベン通りならば愛する妻へ。今回は私を信じてほしい。もうすぐ住宅ローンが返済できる。十分なお金が入ってくる。この数日は期待できる。君の希望通り君は今後も続けてその家に一人で住むことができるだろう。僕は君のことを今でも大切に思っている。それだけは分かってほしい。ここ数年私は君に精神的な苦痛を与えてしまった。だからいつか君が私を許してくれることを願いたい。さよならエドワード。なるほど。
The station master appears to have found himself in some financial trouble.
コエルホエル事務所ロンドンプロムメイン通り BR6QHA。 先日いただいた警告書のご返事として支払うべき借金の分割金の最終払い間もなく満たすことができますのでどうぞご安心ください。警具。ドンカッサ駅は通過しなかった。ドンカッサ駅を通過しなかった。駅長は嘘をつき、虚偽の報告をとひょっとしたら絶望的に必要だった賄賂金を受け取ったのかもしれない。そうね。そうするぞ。お、さあ一つの結論が出てきたね。メキシコ人がチリ人を封印した。これで全てヒントが出た。駅長に話を聞いてみよう。
You'll find nothing interesting here, I'm afraid.
解決ですか。このような犯罪組織は真っ向から対立することはできないです。繊細な対応が必要だ。マイクロフトにこの紛争を解決する機会を与えよう。長引くかもしれないが有利に導くために重要な要因になるのです。それも仕方ない。メキシコ人のチリ人に対する、不人情な行為が多く命を犠牲にした。急いで行動しなければならない。国際的摩擦を導く恐れがあるが、レストレードに電話して警察に素早い正義を行使してもらおう。どっちだろうね。政治的な駆け引きかな。こっちを選ぼう。
Then the case is solved, Holmes. What do you intend to do?
Well, I shall require assistance for the arrests. There were accomplices.
Ah, but I know that look. You have your own ideas. What are they, Holmes?
On the one hand, we have the local constabulary and advice from our friend Lestrade. The problem we have there is that the authorities seem to be incapable of acting quietly. They rely on brute force. It could result in an international scandal. Our other option is Brother Mycroft and his tedious political games. He will locate the guilty parties without any trouble, but it will be a long and drawn-out process, and possibly with some compromise that will be to Mycroft's benefit. But I think I'd prefer to give Mycroft a chance. We should overlook our personal differences on this occasion.
Let us go home, then. I'd like to begin writing a draft of this story.
I did not say that we had finished here yet.
Well, all right. What did I miss?
Watson, we know that the Barcazas Company directors were trapped under the collapsed mines, along with the train and Robinson's prototype. But we still need to corner the guilty party.
But how do you intend to prove... Oh, no. Please don't tell me we have to dig out the mines.
You may rest assured that I have a far better idea. We have only to use our corrupt Doncaster station master as bait. He will unwittingly trap our Mexican friend.
Of course, you already had a plan. I shall follow you, Holmes.
Well, the case is solved, and we shall be heading home. May we have 2 tickets to London, please?
Right away. Wait a minute. You've solved the case?
In a manner of speaking. Can you believe that the rescue service miraculously saved one of the Chileans who were on board the train? The police have ordered his immediate escort to London on the next train.
He pulled through, then? He's alive?
Yes, by extreme good fortune. His condition is quite serious, and the method of transportation has its risk, but he will be held securely by the doctor and police officers. The gentleman carries some vital information on this case. I am sure of it.
Ah, really?
Your station will be famous, Mr. Duff. The journalists will be here before you know it. Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Gentlemen, you are under arrest.
Caramba! You traitor! You double-crossed me!
Nice aim.
Good shot, Watson. I always knew you were a talented marksman.
I didn't want another life lost in this case, Holmes.
Oh my God! I thought I was a dead man.
You shouldn't be so glad about it. You'll be up before the judge.
Your testimony will be of great importance to the investigation. I would remind you that your cooperation will be the best way to ease your sentence. By the way, Watson, would you be so kind as to give me some shooting lessons later on?
Yes, but not in our sitting room, and not with you wearing a blindfold.
はい、というわけで本日の事件は線路上の謎。慎重に計画された殺人だった。メキシコ人はチリ人を殺害して鉱山の奥の列車に封じ込めて犯罪を隠した。このような犯罪組織は真っ向から対立することはできない。繊細な対応が必要だ。マイクロフトにこの紛争の解決を任せることに決めたと。はい。ということで見つけた手がかり、23結論。メキシコ人がチリ人を封印した。道徳的選択、政治的な駆け引きということですね。はい。はい。結論。 23の23、結論、メキシコ人がチリ人を封印した。これ、結論、これ、赤になってるので、×ですか？違うんですかこれ、結論。違うの？違うんだよね。別の結末を選ぶ。今の選択は違うのか。これは、コンカスタイルを通過したら隠蔽じゃなくなって、ただの妨害行為？通過しなかったよね。全部赤。となると、全部が、ここだけが、ここだけが繋がらなくて、あとは全部こっち。メキシコ人がチリ人を溺死させた。溺死させたのか。湖にしてるのかな。
Then the case is solved, Holmes.
Well, the other option, but it will be a lot. But I think I.
Let us go.
No, I did not.
Well,
What's.
but how do you intend to prove... Oh, no. Please don't tell me we have to dive into the lake.
Huh. You may rest assured that I have a far better idea.
Of course, you...
残りは一緒だね、セリフ。
Well, the case is solved.
Right away.
はい、飛ばしましょう。こっから先は全部一緒。さあ、もう一度神エイムを見せようか。
Gentlemen, you are under arrest.
Caramba! You traitor! You double-crossed me!
神エイム。神エイム。
Good shot, Watson. I always knew you were a talented marksman.
I didn't...
Oh my god! I thought I was a dead man.
You shouldn't be so glad about it. You'll be up before the judge.
Your testimony will be of great importance to the investigation. I would remind you that your cooperation will be the best way to ease your sentence. By the way, Watson, would you be so kind as to give me some shooting lessons later on?
Yes, but not in our sitting room, and not with you wearing a blindfold.
はい。ということで、メキシコ人がチリ人を溺死させたに変更しましたね。お、緑色。正解なのかな、緑色は。はい。溺死させたということですね。はい。この決断を受け入れましょう。はい。許可したいです。 矢印が出てきた。強化。OK。はい。ちょっと待ってください。映像フォーマットを2に変更。はい。ごめんなさいね。真っ暗になりました。はい。というわけで、個人成績、中立的な人、事件統計。あなたと同じように事件を解決した人は 69%、あなたと同じ道徳的選択した人は 63% ということでございました。はい。というわけで本日の事件はこれにて解決でございます。はい。夜遅くまでご覧いただいてありがとうございました。それではまたね。バイバイ。